Today, I'm going to show you how to make 3 easy no-bake chocolate desserts. If you're in the middle of summer just like us and you're just wanting something sweet but you don't want to bake and heat up the whole kitchen, then these are the solution for you. And I've got the blog posts, which I'll leave down below, which has the recipes, step-by-step instructions, and everything you need to make these sweet treats. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, comment to let me know your favorite easy no-bake chocolate dessert. And I'm starting with these 2-ingredient chocolate cornflake treats. And also, funny enough, in this video, the recipes have 2, 3, or 4 ingredients. So these have 2 ingredients, the next recipe is 3, and then 4 ingredients. So they're all really easy to make. So yep, let me get started and show you how to make these easy 2-ingredient no-bake chocolate treats. So these are the only 2 ingredients you need: cornflakes. I'm using these ones just because I found them at the supermarket. You can use regular cornflakes, unbranded cornflakes. I found these gluten-free ones. Really, any that you're able to get hold of, that is what you can use as your cornflakes. And for chocolate, I'm just using these dark chocolate chips that I found from Aldi. You can use any chocolate you've got in your pantry, any chocolate you find on special at the store, any chocolate you like. You could also swap some of the cornflakes for some nuts as well, but I'll write all those ideas down in the blog post down below. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure out the cornflakes so we've got them ready to go. And I'm going to start melting the chocolate as well, getting a double boiler. You can either melt the chocolate in the microwave, 30-second bursts, or you can melt them on the stovetop in a double boiler. I'm using the double boiler method, so I'm going to start getting some water heated up on the stovetop, so then when it's nice and bubbling, I can start gently melting my chocolate. So I've got everything measured out. I've got 200 grams or 7 ounces of chocolate chips over here. As I said, use any chocolate you like. And there's 100 grams or 4 ounces of my cornflakes here. You could do it 50-50 cornflakes and some flaked almonds if you want them to be higher in protein and a little bit nutty. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for my stove with my boiling water on my pot to boil, and then I'm gonna get melting my chocolate. I've got my pot of water nice and bubbling, so I'll pop the chocolate on top to melt. I've got the chocolate chips on top of the pot of simmering water, and then it doesn't take long, just keep kind of stirring it, and the chocolate, you can see it's already starting to melt, and we'll just keep cooking and stirring until we have a pool of melted chocolate. The last of the chocolate is just melting over there, and we'll just take it off the heat very carefully not to burn ourselves. Look at that beautiful pool of melted chocolate. So good. And now it's just a matter of adding the cornflakes and mixing them through. So we'll just mix the melted chocolate through the cornflakes until we have a mixture that's cookie dough. That's perfect. Look at that chocolate coated cornflakes. And now it's up to you if you want to move it onto a baking tray lined with baking paper, or you can move it into little cupcake liners to have individual ones. You don't have to think about it. It is up to you what you would prefer to do. I've lined a baking tray with cupcake liners. One of my kids' favorite colors, orange, the other is blue, so I did 50-50 orange and blue just for something a little bit fun. You could just put them straight onto the cookie sheet. You can put them into a cupcake tin. I've just gone with this method. It's what I feel like doing today, and I'm really just going to pop a tablespoon or so of the batter into each little cupcake liner so that it's just the perfect snack. The kids can just grab one out of the fridge. It's so good. So I'm just going to fill the cupcake liners with all of my chocolate cornflake cookie batter. There you go. They're all filled up with my cookie batter. I mean, they're kind of cupcakes, cookies. They're just good. Chocolate and cornflakes are so good. So now they are no bake, so they just need to go in the fridge for a couple of hours to set, and I'll show you once they're ready to be enjoyed. And there you go. My no bake chocolate cornflake cookies have been in the fridge for about an hour and have set up perfectly. You can leave them in longer, you can make them overnight and enjoy them the next day. And you can see if I take one out of its little container, that's a perfect cookie, full of chocolate, so crunchy, so chocolatey. My kids absolutely adore these, and we kind of like them too, especially the dark chocolate. There's just such incredible flavor in them. So that is how to make these easy, no bake, 2-ingredient chocolate cornflake cookies. Keep watching for 2 more dessert recipes. And next, I have these 3-ingredient chocolate truffles that are super indulgent and so easy to make. You don't have to fiddle with rolling truffles. You just make the batter and let it set in a square dish, and then you cut them into these lovely, perfect, indulgent chocolatey squares. So let me show you how to make them. So the 3 ingredients you need are chocolate, of course, for chocolate truffles. I've just roughly chopped up. It's 250 grams, which is 8.8 ounces of chocolate. I've got 3/4 of a cup of cream measured out, ready to pour, and I am going to be using butter. You can use unsalted butter if you want, but I quite like using salted butter. I find it just brings all the flavors together and just makes them a bit sweeter and just beautifully flavored, so that's what I'm using. What I like to do is get the chocolate all chopped up first off, ready to go, because as soon as you've heated the cream you need to pour it over. So get your chocolate ready, and now we'll pour this into a saucepan. So into a small saucepan, pop a tablespoon of butter and 3/4 of a cup of cream, and then we'll just pop it on the stovetop over medium to high heat until the butter is melted and the cream just comes to simmering point. So I've got the butter and cream over heat. Just keep giving it a stir, help that butter along to melt, and yep, just cook it until it comes up to simmer, which shouldn't take more than a minute or 2. Go, butter's all melted, and it should be really soon that it just comes up to simmer, and as soon as it does we'll take it off the heat. There you go, you can see those bubbles start up here. It is simmering, so we'll take it straight off the heat now. So now we've got our bowl full of chopped chocolate, and we'll pour the cream over and get working straight away, mixing to help melt all of that chocolate. If it needs a bit of help along the way, you could actually use a stick blender. That's even easier way of getting that chocolate mixed in. You could use a stick blender and it just makes it super smooth and creamy really quickly. So just make sure you mix all the lumps out so you've got a lovely smooth truffle mixture. Okay, once you're happy with your mixture and it's beautiful and smooth like this, then you're going to pour it into our dish. Now I am using a square baking tin. Now it really depends on the size you want your truffles to be. I like mine being quite shallow and small, so I use a square baking dish. You can use a small one or a rectangular one, it is up to you. But just move the chocolate out the way, get out your baking dish or wherever you're going to move your truffle mixture into. I've lined it with well-greased baking paper so nothing sticks, and we'll just pour the chocolate in and then just flatten it out however you like. As I said, I like mine being quite small little pieces, little bite-sized truffles, so I'm quite happy having it quite shallow. If you prefer to have thicker, bigger truffles, then just pop them into a smaller dish. So there you go, that is perfect, and you can see it's quite shallow, but I'm happy with that. And now just allow it to cool completely and then pop it into the fridge for a few hours to set completely, and I will show you next when we cut our truffle mixture into truffles. The truffles have been in the fridge for a few hours, and you see if we pull it out, it's one huge slab of a truffle. But I'm going to just move the baking tin away, and now we will cut it into little truffle bites. It is up to you the size you want to do it. As I said, I've done mine quite thin because I like cutting small ones and just having tiny bite-sized pieces. If you really want, you can wear gloves when you're cutting so you don't get fingerprints all over it. I think from the baking sheet I've actually got a bit of a mark over there, but that's okay, it's just for the family. So now you just grab out a sharp knife and we'll just very carefully cut it. It's nice and smooth. Carefully cut it into pieces. So I tend to just cut small little slices along that way and then just flip it along and just cut little bite-sized squares of truffles until they are all cut just like that. And if you take out a piece, you'll see it's kind of like fudge, but it's really truffles, and you don't have to get all fiddly and roll little truffle balls, but they are just absolute perfection. I'll pop the piece back in over there. Absolute perfection, and 1 or 2 of these a day is just a rich, decadent, sweet treat that my whole family adores. That's just a perfect dessert. So that's how to make my super easy 3-ingredient chocolate truffles that are super indulgent. I hope you'll enjoy them. And my third and final easy no-bake chocolate dessert is this 4-ingredient chocolate mousse that is super healthy. It's got Greek yogurt in it. It is so flavorful and so easy to make. Let me show you how. So I very roughly chopped up 150 grams or 5 ounces of chocolate. You can use any chocolate you like. I've chopped it all up in there. And to that we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk. You can add in all milk or a combination of milk and cream, just make it up to 3/4 of a cup. And then for sweetness, it's up to you how sweet you like your sweet treats. I'm just going to add in 2 tablespoons myself. You can add in more to taste if you'd like, but we like it sweet just like that. Now we're going to pop it onto the stove top over low to medium heat and really just get the chocolate melted. So cook it until the chocolate is melted. So I've got it on the heat. Just stir it continuously to help everything along, and just keep going till the chocolate has melted and you've got a lovely smooth creamy mixture. Really hasn't taken long at all. It smells so good as the chocolate melts away there. So just keep stirring it. We'll get all of the chocolate to melt. And there you go. We've got a lovely pool of chocolate. So we'll take it off the heat now. So I've taken it off the heat. You can it's still really steaming hot. We've got lovely melted chocolate mixture. Oh, it's very steamy. So I am going to just let it cool down just a little bit until it's almost room temperature, and then we will mix in the Greek yogurt. The melted chocolate has cooled down to almost room temperature, but it's cool enough now to mix through the yogurt, which we're going to do now. So I've moved the spoon out to make way for the yogurt. I'm going to pop in a whole tub of Greek yogurt. It's 2 cups of Greek yogurt going in. Then we'll whisk the yogurt in to combine together. And go, once you're happy that everything's well combined together, we can move it into a bowl for serving. I'm using this pretty pink bowl for serving, so I'm just going to move the mousse into the bowl. And let's smooth it out a bit. Perfect. And now my Greek yogurt chocolate mousse is done. Pop it into the fridge for a few hours just to thicken up, but you can have a look. It's already nice and luxurious and thick just like that, but it definitely thickens up once you've had it in the fridge for a few hours, and then you can serve and enjoy the lovely Greek yogurt chocolate mousse. So the chocolate mousse has been in the fridge for a few hours and it's set up beautifully and thickened, as you can see. Oh, look at that beautiful indulgent mousse. I can't resist having a little sneaky taste. It's super dark. We love our dark treats. The Greek yogurt gives such an incredible tanginess and flavor and richness to the dessert. It is just incredible, and I hope you'll give it a try and enjoy it too. So that brings us to the end of the video with my 3 easy no-bake chocolate desserts. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, comment too, let me know your favorite easy no-bake chocolate dessert, And remember to check down below for the links to the blog posts so you can make these easy treats yourself. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.